Namaste. Let me start today with a very important topic, which is part of the lives of everybody, I would say, in a greater or a smaller degree. That is fear. Fear is something which everyone feels, but some people feel it so much that it affects their psychological and physical health to a greater extent. The topic of fear has also gained more importance during the pandemic. And we have seen that many people have got the illness, the contagion, because they were quite fearful. Now you would wonder that just by feeling fear in the mind, can we get illness? Surely, because I would share with you the gems from mother. She says how this happens. And this is very important to know. I'm quoting mother. She says, fear is hidden consent. When you are afraid of something, it means that you admit its possibility and thus strengthen its hand. Aren't you surprised that fear is hidden consent? You may not be aware, but when you're fearful, when you think that something might happen to you, that you might get ill or whatever, then somewhere your consciousness is opened to the negative vibrations, to the negative forces. And without your knowing, in a very a state of unawareness, you may catch the contagion. So it's very important not to have fear at all. Further, I will quote from the mother. She says, it can be said that it is a subconscient consent. Well, obviously, you are not aware since your subconscious mind has lots of fears hidden and you're not aware of it. And she says that fear can be overcome in many ways. I will share what she has said about how to overcome in many ways. But let me say that how will you know that you have fear? So it is, like an unpleasant feeling triggered by a perception of danger, real or imagined. So when you feel unpleasant, when you feel disturbed, and when you think or perceive that something might happen, whether you might be worried about the climate change and storms or tsunami, or you might be aware, or you might be thinking of getting the disease because you read in the newspapers, there's so much information bombarding from the television and other. And so your mind starts thinking. Sometimes it is also out of curiosity. Oh, what is this disease? Oh, how does it occur? And nowadays, people instantly try to search in the internet. Now, I would warn you all of going through the internet and finding out the signs and symptoms of things without having the true knowledge, and it might be dangerous. You might imagine certain symptoms which could be quite normal. So, be careful, be aware not to get into these kind of activities and to be aware how fear enters. Sometimes you may be aware by a sudden attack when your palms may be sweaty or your breathing gets disturbed, your performance goes down, or you may get irritated, angry, and nervous. But mother says that when you can feel the illness coming, you can take the following steps. And first I will quote from her. She says, these are the ways of courage, faith, and knowledge. So first of all, The steps to overcome fear is to develop a strong will not to be ill. This is the first condition. Then, do not feel afraid. You must neither attract it nor tremble. Be still, be stable, observe your breathing, be quiet. Second condition after remaining quiet is to call the light of equilibrium, light of peace, quietude, and balance. Try these things for a few days and you will find that you are getting stronger and stronger day by day. Do not panic. You must have a calm certitude and a complete trust in the power of grace to shelter you from everything. The third step is to occupy yourself with an activity so that you can forget about illness. For example, play an instrument, listen to music, go to a gym or walk, do painting, gardening, or cooking. Remember, if you do the above, then mother says, even if you are in contact with a person with contagious disease, you will not fall sick. Let me give you one real life incident from a friend of mine who used to fall sick frequently during the autumn season because once in her childhood she had gone to a place in the forest where there was so much of dust and pollens all around, and she got an infection. And she had this cough, cold, and mild fever for a few days. But every autumn, she would think, well, again the season has changed, and perhaps I might get the infection. And inevitably, for more than a decade, she used to fall sick exactly at the same period of time. After meeting me, I suggested her to read mother's books, and she learned not to have these negative suggestions, prepare herself with a strong will, and she started practicing silence and invoking peace, quietude. She observed her breathing, and above all, she gave a strong affirmative thought to her mind that this year I'm not going to fall sick. Autumn is a good season. I'm going to enjoy. I'm going to do my exercises. I'm going to do my readings, and I will not let any negative thoughts enter my mind. So, you see, for any sort of fear, especially fear of illness, you can prepare yourself very well. First, be aware, then make your willpower strong. Next, invite peace and quietude to settle in your mind and your body. Chant the Shanti mantra and, above all, have faith in the divine. Trust the divine more and more and leave all the care to the divine. That is the ideal condition to receive grace and remain healthy at all times.